You need to pass NASM. I've helped more than 5,000 people pass this textbook certification. We've helped more people pass this than any company or service on the internet today. In this video in 2021, I break down everything in here that you need to know. Today's video, I'm going to take it a step further. I'm going to chop it back up, throw in our clip art, and pointers to help you pass this as quickly as you can. Since then, I wrote the book, How to Become a Successful Personal Trainer, Volume 2. In this book, Chapter 12 gives you 25 questions with breakdowns on how to better understand the material. I'm sure you're frustrated, you're lost, you have self-doubt, those voices in your head, I'm not going to be able to pass this because it's confusing. We're going to eliminate that. I guarantee it. If you buy my book, throw it into your story, and leave a 5-star review, I will send you our study guide and NASM quiz bundle, which is over $200 for free. In 2024, Show Up Fitness CPT became the fastest growing certification. It got into the top 10 of best certifications in the world. We're recognized nationally and internationally, and that's why we have elite partnerships with Equinox and Lifetime. In fact, we're the only certification that guarantees one interview with Lifetime. They have the best gyms, but maybe you don't want to work there. That's what the book is for. It's going to help you with resume, interviews, how to get clients, how to generate streams of revenue with the 60-30-10 split, how to network with medical professionals, how to build a book of business so you can turn your passion for fitness into a career. I interview hundreds of trainers. Unfortunately, 90% of trainers quit within the first year. Not when you show up. If you want to level up your game and become a qualified personal trainer, we have our guarantee to pass NASM in 30 days. And we're going to throw in our certification, so you're going to get access to our platform for 3 months, where you're going to level yourself up, become qualified, actually understand programming, assessments, how to get clients, and how to help your clients get out of pain efficiently with our certifications. You will pass NASM. I guarantee it. Listen to the words in the book. That fear is going to go away so you can level up your game to become a successful personal trainer. Belt buckle trainer, have a great day. Howdy, y'all. It's your favorite trainer with a belt buckle.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Megan.
We're going to get you to pass the 7th edition NASM CPT. We had over 75,000 views for our 6th edition. We can still help you pass that up until August 31st, 2021. You need to show up and read the book. If you want to become successful, start here. The textbook, you know me, you've seen my videos. I'm not going to get too much into it, but we're going to get through this cover to cover. It's going to take about 25 minutes. Start the clock, Megan.
Here we go.
Not familiar with Show Up Fitness? We teach trainers San Diego, Los Angeles, Santa Monica, in person 2 months. She's an instructor here in San Diego. Up in the cloud, the website, the
online web.
There we go. That's what we're going to be doing. We can teach you online, in person. We have weekend seminars. So, you ready to pass this sucker? Get your whiskey. Get ready, because I can't do this sober. There's no freaking way. I've taught NASM for 10 years. We've helped over 1,500 people pass this sucker. And the more I read it, I just want to do bad stuff. So this is going to be the angel and the devil. She's going to be the bad person. I'm going to be the good person. Let's get through it. Here we go.
Right.
So we're going to start with section 1. Professional development. Page 2. Don't worry about reading this. Just get through it. There's a lot of chapters you don't need to read. We have a study guide. It's going to tell you what to read, what to focus on, what's the flashcard. 1 sets you up for the rest of the book. So just start flipping through this. The OPT model, optimal performance training. Don't worry about BMI. They cover it like 13 times. Blood pressure, they cover it like 28 times. We'll talk about that later on. Knee dysfunction, obesity. 4 out of 5 people have low back pain. You should know on page 21. To remain in good standing and maintain current certification status by acquiring all necessary continuing education. You don't even need a certification. That's how they get you though. They want you to get the next cert, go, 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 go. Don't do it, get 1 if you need to, unless you're independent or you know the right people, we can get you in without getting a certification. Qualified is better than certified, but remember, we're here to help you to pass this. So 22, Maintain accurate financial contract appointment and tax records, including original receipts for a minimum of 4 years. Get the reviews, highlight hypertension, diabetes, 1 versus 2. 2 is going to be from having too much soda and whiskey. Good. And 1 is going to be onset childhood. Insulin is a hormone that's produced by the pancreas. It's anabolic. We'll get in that with endocrinology. Next up, chapter 2.
All right. There's not going to be a lot in this chapter, honestly, so just keep on going, flipping. Yep, nothing there. Accountability, some support, not seeing much. Here, page 49, you're going to have SWOT analysis, something that we talk about in the internship. What is SWOT? Strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So know those, go over that. You'll have some questions about that.
I have a different one. It's strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and triceps, because mine are giant. But you got to go with what NASM wants on that one.
And then, you might need to know that there's 2.0 CEUs. It's going to be your credit.
So I was a hiring manager about 12 years ago. And when I would get a resume and it had a NASM, I would throw it away. So it's kind of ironic because on page 50, they say it's a strength. Depends on who you go to, So I haven't put that under a weakness, but hey, we're being nice.
Yeah.
Get you to pass the NASM. Here we go, section 2.
We're working. Still, motivation, you might have extrinsic or intrinsic. Is it outside, inside? How do you feel? Rewards, stuff like that. We have some goals, process, outcome goals. We went over that. We have a lot of other YouTubes that we could go over that, but type of support, instrumental, emotional, informational, companionship. Once again, they'll ask you basic questions about that. Don't spend too much time in that. We'll just keep on flipping those pages to the next chapter.
We have a Tuesday night, 5 o'clock. If you haven't sat in our Zoom classes once a week, she will tutor you because I can't do it anymore. I gave up. I said, Megan, you got to know this better than me. So she took this 7 days with our study guide. 7 days. She wasn't confused with all this bullshit. So we want to eliminate the fat and just focus on what you're going to be tested on so you can get it over with. Focus on anatomy, programming, and how to become a successful trainer with proper supervision. And that's what we teach you in person, online. That's what changes the game. Chapter 4. You guys can just zoom me out when I start talking because I'm going to start annoying you. I'm the big hunky guy with big biceps, and I know I can be annoying, but this stuff is annoying. But let's just flip through this. Stages of change, know that. Pre-contemplation, contemplation, prep, action, maintenance. There's also a termination. So you have what word am I?
Point of going back.
Yeah, right. After a year. So flip, 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 flip. Nope, you can skip this chapter. Oh. The reason they did this is because they want to compete with precision nutrition. And they're big into motivational interviewing. On page 101, we have our SMART goal: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Your clients are going to come to you and say, I want to lose 10 pounds. It's a terrible fucking goal. Can't tell them that though, but it's not a great goal because you need to be more specific. How long is it going to take for you to hit that goal by working out 3 times a week with a professional and modifying your diet and making sure we're sleeping well, making sure we're giving solutions for our stress, everything that we cover in our class, body mass equation. Whoa, you probably don't know what that is because that's something we developed because we want you to be successful. What we don't do is we don't tell you to get more certs like the corrective exercise and all this other bullshit that doesn't do anything to help you be successful. We want to give you the tenets to be successful long term. You could literally skip that chapter, get into section 3. This is my wheelhouse. I love anatomy. I love movement. I talk about it in my book. 80 to 90% of trainers who get certified within the first year quit. Why? Because we don't understand anatomy. Can you tell me the 17 muscles of the shoulder, the 40 around the hip? Can you tell me the movement patterns? Can you tell me what the difference is between a hinge and a squat and a unilateral movement? So the 7th edition, they did put those in there, which I'm proud of NASM, but they still have so much information that is outdated, and it's 2021. I have YouTubes with professors at universities, top scientists in the world, debunking the hell out of this, but that's not what you're here for. So this chapter is important. It's gonna give you competence. It's competence. It's gonna help you, give you competence for long-term success, but they're not gonna ask you much. So just move through this one pretty quickly. I love this stuff. A neuron, the basic unit for the nervous system, a motor unit, a neuron and all the associated muscle fibers it innervates. Know the basic unit for the bone, osteoblast, osteoclast. I'm going to beat you, Megan. I'm going to beat you. Here we go. Know the sliding filament theory, actin, myosin. You're going so fast. Slow down. It's because you're not going to be tested on it. That's why we go fast through certain chapters. Sliding filament theory, they're just going to want to know which one's bigger, myosin or actin. It's myosin. Type 1 versus type 2 muscle fibers. Type 1, let's use my little whiskey analogy. Type 1 will be here. It's going to be more aerobic. It means it uses fat. Type 2 are bigger. They're going to use carbs. These fatigue quickly. So it's like I drink it fast. It goes down fast. It needs time for me to go fill it back up. It's a recovery process. Type 1, they're aerobic. So the little test that you can do is how long could you tap your hand like this? Long period of time. That's a type 1 muscle fiber. Now when you go fast, come on, come on, come on, woo, that's type 2, but you're going to get a little burn in your forearm. And that burn is the accumulation of lactate. You're not going to be able to maintain that force production, so then you're going to go back to this. All muscles have a combination of type 1 and type 2. It's good for you to know as a trainer. They may ask you one simple question, such as the gluteus maximus is primarily what type of muscle fiber, 1 or 2? And that would be 2. So when you look at page 149, the highlights, know the difference between a muscle spindle and a Golgi tendon. We will cover that later on. We have YouTubes on those flashcards. Bone, like very, very advanced. If you want to nerd out on this shit, know for bone growth, we have osteoclast, that claw down bone, osteoblast, that build up. That would be like the most advanced question ever in the history of NASM, and they wouldn't put it on there. Myofibrils, actin, myosin, as I just said, in type 1 and type 2. All right, Megan.
All right, cardiorespiratory system. So the heart, like we said earlier in our YouTubes before, they're not going to question you much on the heart. You're going to have your 2 chambers, superior above, atria, atrium, and then inferior below is going to be your ventricles. They also might ask you the blood vessels that go towards the heart. It's going to be veins, and then away is going to be arteries. And then, what is the pacemaker of the heart? It's gonna be your SA node, sinoatrial node. Other than that, just keep on passing by. You will be asked about the where you check your resting heart rate. That's gonna be your radial pulse. Let's see, where are we going with that? Blood pressure, hypertension, 140/90. Keep going, not much on that. Not really anything on the endocrine system. Yep. Pretty much nothing on hormones that you're really going to see. If you do, it's going to be one of the 20 questions, so.
Fun little factoid, page 174. Dr. Kramer was my professor at the University of Connecticut. They did a fascinating study looking at unstable versus stable surface training. And guess what? Unstable was inferior. So by putting a stability ball behind you and doing a squat, curl, press, doesn't do much. A goblet loading would be more optimal, back squat, a hip thrust, the actual pattern with proper overload. But I don't know, whatever NASM likes to do, good for you. Yep. Gluconeogenesis, maybe. Glucose referencing glucose. Neo means new. Genesis is the making of. So you're making new glucose from non-carbohydrate substrates. They're not going to ask you much on the hormones. All right, we're good?
Yeah.
Got all through that stuff.
Went
through it.
Yeah.
There we go.
7.
Now me or you?
Oh, that's me.
There you go.
C. So you're gonna have your anatomic position. So what's that mean? Like I said earlier, superior, inferior. It might ask you like where a muscle in the body is. So my pecs are what to the glutes. They would be superior. When we're talking about posture check, we like to do here at Show Up Fitness. We're gonna have you flex your arms. Then you're going to horizontally abduct, and then we're going to externally rotate, and then we're going to add them back to the body's midline, so adduct, and then if I was standing, you would see proud chest.
So what this is going to produce more testosterone. If you want to go on a date with someone, who are you going to choose? Hey, or nope, this is insecure, this is more parasympathetic, this is more, what's up? Check those guns out. This is more confidence. The thing about posture, there's no perfect posture. If you stood like this all day long, your back's gonna start hurting. The best posture is the one that you're constantly changing. Be here for 15 minutes. Be here for 15 minutes. Be here for 15 minutes. You're not gonna die if you have shitty posture for a few minutes. Let your shit hang out, it's fine. 10, 15 minutes, it's when you do things repetitively for a long period of time. That's when you can get in trouble. Don't scare people. Guess what? You have upper cross syndrome, you're gonna die. No, you're not, you're fine. What about bicycle riders? What about rowers? They're doing the same shit all the time. Why don't we have this epidemic with low back pain with them? Body's pretty freaking awesome. Pretty awesome.
All right. Oh yeah, planes of motion, obviously sagittal. We have a whole video about this, but sagittal, flexion, extension, frontal, abduction, adduction, transverse, semi-rotation. Just know those, the planes, the actions will help you. That. Then we have muscle, type of muscle actions. So when you're doing a bicep curl, when I go like this, that's the concentric phase, the shortening of the muscle. When I extend it, that's the eccentric phase. Think about gravity going down with the weight. And then if I were to hold it, isometric.
So with the isokinetic, that's like a machine that they have in laboratories. So when I was at Connecticut doing my internship there, they have this machine that's constant tension. All you need to know for that one is physiological laboratories in an exercise environment. They're not gonna ask anything about that. So just remember, eccentric is easier. What's easier, a push-up coming down or going away? Oh, it's harder going away. Concentric is when you want to breathe out. So I'm going to do a pull-up. Concentric. Eccentric is coming down under control. It's easier.
Over that. Agonist, synergist, stabilizer, you might get one. What's an agonist? Obviously main mover, synergist, hamstrings. We have synergistic dominance. You'll hear that term. So other than that, not too much. Force, length, tension, relationship, you might get the actual definition of that. Just remember actin, myosin, and relate that to that. Then you have a lot of other terms, altered length, tension, relationship, reciprocal inhibition, all those that we have in our other YouTubes. Just know those terms, don't get too stressed out on the actual chapter itself.
Just flashcard them, that's all you need to do. That's why we're not gonna go over it much, because if you just flashcard those, you'll be fine.
Was that the fulcrum? Just this page 7. It's 2/116, but figure 723.
Been drinking, me or her, jeez. 216, just flashcard those.
Yeah.
You need to know 1, 2, and 3. 1, head nod. 2, calf raise, plantar flexion. 3, bicep curl.
Motor, feedback. Neuromuscular efficiency, phase 1. Yep.
Bioenergetics, chapter 8. Skip it, don't need to know it. Important shit. We have a professor that comes in, University of, now he's at Virginia, I believe, Dr. Chaliwa. We go over this stuff in-depthly because it's important to know for your clients, specifically athletes, but they're not gonna ask you much on this. It's too complex. You gotta remember, if you fail, the likelihood of you taking the next test and getting more certs according to NASM is gonna be low. They want you to pass, so then you're gonna get the next cert. $600, cha-ching! Ooh, performance enhancement, cha-ching! Oh, weight loss specialist, what the fuck is that? That's what trainers do. We help you lose weight. You don't need a specialist for it, but you will get a question 40-yard dash. What energy system are you in? ATP, PC, glycolysis, or oxidation? What is it?
ATP, PC.
There you go. They may ask you about anaerobic, which is going to be more carbs, aerobic, more fat. Glycogen is stored glucose. EPOC, excess post-oxidation consumption, is the afterburn. You lift some heavy shit, you're going to be burning calories the next couple days. This is great stuff. They're not going to test you on it, but knowing about total daily energy expenditure and the equation for activity, your BMR, non-exercise activity, thermogenesis, thermal effect of food. This can be on page 243. They're not going to ask you because they want you to get their stupid CNC, which is terrible. Don't do it. So just skip that chapter. Same with 9. Nutrition, you're not going to get asked much on. And just because they want you to get that next one. We'll highlight the stuff at the end, so we'll just flip through this one pretty quickly. Importance is very low. Skip. Come on. Who's gonna kill?
I can do it.
Oh, it's water. And I think I'm gonna win.
I don't want to get favorite guys.
I'm skipping chat. Okay, so go to the Page 302.
302?
Yeah, 302. So we're going to go over what you need to know for this chapter. So protein, 1 gram, 4 calories. Carbs, 1 gram, 4 calories. Fats, 1 gram, 9 calories. Alcohol, 1 gram, 7 calories.
This one.
Those are your macronutrients, the AMDR, so that's just the dietetic recommendation. For protein, 10 to 35. For carbs, 45 to 65. Athletes will get a little more carbs. And then your fat is going to be 20 to 35. Don't get more than 10% for saturated fat. Know the fiber recommendations. Know the food recommendations. It's going to be on 303. Men should be getting roughly 11.5, and women, sorry, and then men will be getting 3.7 liters. A, D, E, and K are the fat-soluble ones. And really, maybe 3, max 5 questions. So if it's 120 questions, of which 20 are being beta tested on, you don't know which ones they are. So if you got 3 questions from nutrition, 5 max, it's 5%. They're gonna ask you the basic ones, so don't worry about this stuff. What we do at Show Up Fitness is we challenge the interns to get out of their comfort zone by networking with the true professionals, which are dietitians. It makes your life so much easier. Too many trainers today wanna get all these certs, and what does it do? Why? I wanna learn, I love that. Always be learning. But a certification doesn't mean you're qualified. So what we do here is I'm the trainer, this is my client. She has diabetes, she binge eats, she's been having a hard time psychologically around food, she has a poor relationship. I want you to work with my dietitian. I'm gonna refer over to the dietitian and I'm gonna get a commission on that. So the professional works with her, she gets taken care of, I get rewarded for it, and I don't need to work more and harder because that's not my specialty. I'm a great freaking trainer and so are you. Don't think that more is always better. That's our supplementation.
So just completely skip.
Just get out. Just get out.
Not needed.
They can't by law ask you questions on this stuff because we're not dietitians. Maybe 1 on caffeine, which would be 331. If you want to nerd out on that, go be it, but don't waste any time on that chapter. Next one, Megan's up, chapter 11.
The assessment. Oh, fun word. Learned it. How to say it today. Contraindications. So that's when you're looking for something that you're not going to want to do for a client. Say if you have elderly or pregnant ladies, for example, we went over before, don't do single leg squat, modify the overhead squat, keep them standing, stuff like that.
She blew out her knee, drinking too much of this.
Oh.
And so the therapist would say, I don't want her running 1, 2, 3 months into her program.
Running,
jogging, whatever. So they're gonna say, don't do that. It's a contraindication for that individual. So that's a great opportunity to link up with a therapist. The more networked you are, the better off you're gonna be.
Just keep on going and going, going. Heart rate, blood pressure, we kind of talked about it earlier. I believe we also talked about radial pulse. Yeah, you mean circumference. So we have circumference, and then we have the Dernan-Wormser lead for body caliper testing. So when you're doing that, you're gonna be looking at 4 sites there. Circumference testing, you do that on someone that's like maybe obese because you don't want to be pinching their skin.
Biceps, triceps, subscapularis, suprailiac. Those are the 4. That's the only thing they're gonna ask you on that one.
YMCA test, they'll have that. They'll have your Rockport test and a 1.5 mile test. All of those are gonna be cardio tests. They're gonna look at your heart rate for that. So know like the zones, there's 3 zones. 4 for like in good, very good. VO2 max, yup. Basis of it. Next one.
You're 12 too.
I'm also 12, hell yeah, okay. So we talked about some of them. Others, we have muscle imbalances, overactive, underactive muscles. That's a big portion of the test, so make sure you know those. If you have our study guide, we give you a little chart of that, and you can look at those, memorize those. You're gonna get a lot of questions from that. There's 3 posture distortion patterns. You got pes planus, upper cross, lower cross syndromes, know that.
That's the new addition to 7, pes planus. One of our buddies in the prehab guys, Rosh, I do a video with him, and we make fun of that because as a therapist, he never even used that terminology. Some people say dynamic knee valgus. Why are we trying to sound so smart to scare our clients? How about this? A client is squatting and they have knee valgus. I walk up to them and say, drive your knees out. Go through the heel, big toe, little toe, heel. Your knee tracks through your toes. Wow, we just fixed it. Touch the outside of their knee, drive out a little bit. Stop scaring people with movement. Teach them that movement is healthy and fun, and maybe you're gonna grow your business instead of, you have upper cross syndrome, your upper trap is overactive, and guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna foam roll for 9 fucking years. It's not gonna work. That's maybe why so many trainers fail. LPHC, feet, ankles, knees, shoulders, head, neck, know those 5. Back to Megan, I got excited.
Overhead squat, that's where you're looking for those, like you just said. Let's see, you might have the single leg squat, so if your client can do the overhead squat, you go there. Pushing, pulling assessment, same thing. Underactive, overactive muscles, just know those.
We highlight these a lot in the class. Every class on Tuesday, she's gonna go over, we'll do a little flashcard game. So open up this one. What is the upper traps?
Overactive.
What is the BMO?
Underactive.
Know that and you're gonna be fine. If you can just put all those into a flashcard or a little pile, choose them out and you'll be good.
Performance test, push up, bench press, past that. I won't go into too much there. Yep, keep going, keep going.
What's our timeout? What are we at?
I don't know.
Let's see what our thing is. What are we at? What are we at?
23 minutes.
We're gonna have to fly through this really quickly here because
Okay, it's a great
she has to go. You know what?
Okay.
If you need to go, just go. I can finish it off. Really? Yeah, because you're gonna have to, you're gonna get in trouble.
Yep.
So I'll just do the rest of it.
Great, peace out.
I'll get see, this is the nice thing about YouTube. We can edit or we don't, whatever,
Yeah.
or I just get really drunk. We'll still help you guys get through this.
Come in for me if you want.
So the OPT model, all you need, I'm not even gonna go over this much because we hit it later on. So with the OPT model, you're gonna see on 428, you got the 5 parts, you have the 3, you have the stabilization, you have strength, and you have power. They're gonna ask you a bunch of stuff on that. So you just need to know, I do like how they added in the patterns that we got. So squat, hinge, pulling, pushing, pressing. That's how we program. And that's what great trainers do, is they base programming off of patterns, not exercises. If you want to be successful, you need to have a reason behind your programming. You don't just choose exercises. So a client wants to grow their ass, I'm gonna do a hinge pattern because it's more extension, which can be more glutes. If your client wants to get bigger quads, then we're gonna be more squatting because it's more knee dominant. You gotta make it specific to the client, and that's the SED principle, specific adaptation to imposed demand. So 13 just sets the expectation for the rest of the chapters. Not much on 14. Again, this terminology that Megan just went over, you will see it, so you need to know what your Golgi tendon is. Think tendon and tension. Golgi tendon and tension. Associate that one, I'll put on a flashcard with autogenic inhibition, which is the one below that. You have muscle spindle, think of a spindle and stretch. Spindle, stretch. You will be asked a few questions. My favorite, 449. Love this. So look at this photo right here. I want you to find an adhesion on the internet, on the web. You won't. Be like me drawing fucking Bigfoot. Be like, I found Bigfoot. These have not been found in human bodies. But we like to scare people with adhesions. You have imagine if you go to a train, excuse me, sir, you have adhesions. What am I, a leper? It's not, am I dying? It doesn't sound good. Stop scaring people. Oh, NASM, you guys are so fun. You guys get me for the rest of this, so you better buckle down. Nope, skip all this stuff. So, this is one of my favorites. I like this guy on 469 because we're gonna have a stare off. Look at this guy. He's just, number 1 rule, no eye contact when your legs are open like that. We are buffaloing one each other. That's one of my favorite photos in the textbook. I love it. Good job, NASM. So they're gonna ask you about active, 1 to 2 seconds, dynamic, sport specific, like you can see on 474. It's just movement based. Static stretching, 20 to 30 seconds. Static stretch at home. Don't do it with your clients. When my clients come in here at Show Up Fitness, the first thing I do is, how you feeling? Good? All right, let's do a push-up. When was the last time you blew out your shoulder by doing a push-up? We warm up way too long today. Couple minutes, 1, 2 minutes. Your clients are paying you, or at least here, $150 to $200 per hour. That's what you want to charge, right? Or do you want to do 20 bucks per session? The difference between great trainers and insignificant trainers are the quality and the professionalism that you deliver to your clients. And when you're spending 10 minutes foam rolling, your clients are subconsciously thinking like, this isn't gonna work. So when you come in and your clients don't have any aches and pains and they move well, take them through a damn workout. That's what you do when you're great. 489, they may ask you about the Tanaka formula, 208 minus 0.7 age, heart rate max. Besides that, I'm not gonna ask you much on the cardio. You can just skip this stuff. Chapter 16 core, skip it. They're not gonna ask you much at all. Great stuff to know your anatomy, but they're not gonna ask anything about this. Keep going, keep going. Around 5:30, no marching. They like to know with marching, it's drawing in, not bracing, and then the lower floor bridge, do not hyperextend. And that is 5:37, triple extension on the end foot with cable rotation. Oh, excuse me, but that's what whiskey does to you. Alrighty, balance training concepts. I wish they would make this better than it is. For 549, there should be a strength component in there, because balance, think about it like I'm holding this pin right here. I'm unstable, and NASM likes that word. Well, when you get strong, you're a lot more stable. So not most, true fitness professionals go off of a model of movement competency, learn how to move properly, then progressively overload, get stronger, and then become powerful. Power is very important, force times velocity, because the older as we get, sarcopenia kicks in. That's the loss of muscle mass due to age. So we have the motor units, the type 1 and type 2. As we age, if we don't engage our type 2s, they die off. We fall down the stairs, we can't catch ourselves, you break a hip and you die. Strength training is gonna help with that, not balance training. So these are good terms: vestibular, proprioceptive. Vestibular is the smallest bones in the human body are inside the inner ear. Incus malleus and stapes, write that down. That'll get you a free shot at the bar. And then you have the proprioception, closing your eyes, knowing where your nose is. And so those are good terms to know, but the balance stuff is just way too much. If you balance on a frickin' stability ball or a Bosu ball, you're gonna lose clients right and left. It's not a fucking circus. Why are we doing that? So let's get into 18, plyometrics. Don't worry about it. Only thing you need to know is amortization, which is the middle part of a plyometric. So you load your arms back as you jump. We're not Tinkerbell. Load back, quickly recoil forward. And so that middle portion is called amortization. For a lift, bench press, when I come down, this is eccentric. You pause isometrically, concentrically press forward. So we're not gonna do much with this one because they want you to get the PES. It's a joke. If you tell someone you're PES certified, they're gonna laugh in your face. Same with 19. Strength coaches go through the CSCS. We teach that in another course, Certified Strength and Conditioning Specialist. That is gonna be through the NSCA. They are the king of king. It'd be like you got your degree in University of Phoenix versus Texas. There you go. Which one's better? How many athletes go pro from the University of Phoenix? So you go through the right organizations if you want to be a strength coach, not NASM. No triple flexion. Flexion here, flexion at the hip, knee, and ankle. And don't worry about all that stuff. They will ask you about, they like the stand-up figure 8, 601 for elderly people, and you can skip that one. Let's get into paid chapter 20. General adaptation syndrome, all great stuff. Delayed onset muscle soreness is the chemical and mechanical damage that happens inside the muscle. They probably won't ask you that. Great stuff to know. And if you don't know this stuff, you're gonna just be looked at and laugh, but NASM's not gonna quiz you on it, because if they were to quiz you on it and you don't do well, then you're failed. And if you fail, then you're not gonna get more of their certs. So don't worry about half this stuff. How do I know? Again, we've had 1,500 people pass this test. And just to give you an idea of why NASM shouldn't be getting into sports performance, 646, what the holy hell is the barbell clean? It's not that. I don't even know what that is. I'm not mocking her as an individual. It's to form, everything is just, it's, move on, Chris. Be nice. Be nicer when it comes to NASM. They're wonderful people. Oh God, this is, sorry guys, Megan left. She's supposed to be the angel on this one, but I go through this stuff and I just, it's amazing that they call themselves National Academy of Sports Medicine. Mind you, this is my opinion. This is my opinion. Go interview some professors at universities and see what they say. So when we get into periodization, good job with updating undulating versus linear. It's got an improvement there. NASM 685, know the phases. And so we'll highlight that here in this chapter. Super, super, super important. You're gonna be quizzed a ton on this stuff. I like the addition on the patterns. I don't know what a multiplanar movement is. I do know what it is, but it's not a pattern. A squat is a knee dominant pattern. A hinge is a hip dominant pattern. A push and a pull, push, chest tries, shoulders would be the synergist, pull, back, buys, biceps are going to be the synergist. Pressing is going to be more above, should be vertical. Multiplanar is not a pattern. You should incorporate multiplanar movements within your patterns, but I think what happens is as you get really big and you have a ton of money, you get like, hey, you know what? You do this chapter, and they don't cross-reference it. And so the stuff that this chapter talks about is different than this chapter because there's so much horse shit in here. It just blows my mind. And that's why so many trainers don't look like trainers. All right, so let's look at 699. Know that the plyometric response holding is 3 to 5 seconds. Know the resistance is 12 to 20. It's gonna be 50 to 70%. Know it's 4-2-1-1. That's the difference with the 7th. It's 4-2-1-1. 4 eccentric, 2 isometric, 1 concentric, 1 isometric. 0 to 90 seconds, 12 to 20 repetitions. All right, that's what I got. Supersets, 703 for phase 2. That's all you need to know. So know that a bench press into a push-up is a superset in phase 2 and phase 5. Phase 5 is going to be like a bench press into a plyo push-up or a jump and a squat. So explosive in your normal heavy lifts will be phase 5. 2 is just going to be some type of pull-up into an unstable surface. So think of the lower to the bottom. It's always going to be stabilization. Proprioceptive enriched environment, always phase 1. Phase 2 is going to have phase 1 in it as well. Phase 5 is going to be more athletic, jumping plyometric stuff. And you don't need to worry about that one. 706, just know the resistance portion. So we're doing 6 to 12 reps for hypertrophy, what they now call muscular development. 2020 tempo, 0 to 60 seconds. You just got to know that. It's stupid, but whatever. Resistance training, 2113. You got 1 to 5 reps for the strength portion. Explosive, so XXX. Funny story, I had a student come in one time when I was teaching this 10 years ago, and he's like, Chris, I got in trouble last night. I was trying to understand the tempos for phase 4 and 5, and I typed in XXX. My wife walked in. Bad story. Not my fault, though. NASM's fault. Got to blame them. And then we're going to be doing 3 to 5 minutes rest. We're going to look at phase 5, 711. That's just going to be, again, your supersets there. I'm not going to ask you about programming because they don't know how to program. They absolutely suck at programming. So let's get through this. We're almost done. Hang with us. I wanted to do 20 minutes. We went a little longer than that, though. Take a drink. Let's go. Power through it. Here we go. Let's go. It's like a last set. You're going to do a PR. Skip this shit. You're not going to be asked it. Come on, come on, come on. Nope. Why wouldn't you want to learn this stuff cover to cover? Because if you do it on clients, you're not going to grow your business. That's why. Viper. Okay, stability ball. Perfect example. 749. Tell me how happy this girl looks on a fucking Bosu ball. She even knows it's wrong. She's like, she's probably super smart and knows how to train. Like, hey, get on the Bosu ball. She's like, oh God, really? People think this works? What am I, in the circus? Look at the girl in 748. I'm on a stability ball. When was the last time you saw Ronnie Coleman or some jacked athlete on a stability ball or Bosu ball in great shape? They have some fuckery out there on Instagram. Besides the circus stuff, you're not going to get jacked from this. You're not going to look great from stabilization. Shh, don't use that word. You're going to be looked at as a joke. Oh, man, let's go. Chronic health. You're going to have people who have diabetes, know the difference between type 1 and 2. Obesity above 30 on the BMI, 25 to 29.9 is overweight. When it comes to hypertension, 140 over 90. You want to do peripheral heart actions. So it's going to be upper body by a lower body exercise. A push into a squat. Triple extension on the back foot there. Osteoporosis, you have bone mineral density greater than 3.0 standard deviations is going to be osteoporosis. Osteopenia is the middle one. Associate osteopenia with being overweight, kind of the same context with overweight and osteopenia, obese and osteoporosis. Those are the more advanced aspects of those diseases. You can reverse osteoporosis, you can reverse BMI, and that's it. I am done. Woo! I did it! I got through it. Don't do this. Do not put people on a board and tell them shit's overactive. You are an asshole if you do that, because your clients don't show up wanting to get giant arms by telling them stuff's overactive. We debunked that a long time ago. Check out our YouTubes with other professionals. Now, I will have a little outtake part, because the best part, the programming, literally the biggest pile of horse shit in the world. So let's take a look at 824. Imagine if a girl comes in and she goes, you know what I want? I really want a big ass, tight tummy, toned arms, and just feel better. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Ready? We're gonna foam roll and stretch for 10 minutes. That's what you do. Yeah, this is what you do. Then you're gonna go into a ball cobra, ball combo, and a single leg hip rotation. You're looking at 15 minutes into the workout. We're gonna do one set. Here we go. Ready to show up? Here we go. Body weight squat, one set of 20. 4-2-1 tempo. Make sure you do that. RDL, one set of 20. Standing tubing chest press, 1 by 20. Inverted row, 1 by 20. Standing dumbbell shoulder press. You're good. You're gonna be in the best shape of your life from that. Then let's go foam roll and stretch for 20 minutes. It blows my mind that this is an actual textbook. If you come from a kinesiology background, I have a 4-year degree, interned, cardiac rehab, physical therapy, top university in exercise physiology, they literally laugh at this stuff. Talk to a professor. I've interviewed them. It's hilarious, and they're the biggest organization, the gold standard of horse shit. Let's get Jane jacked. Ready? Here's what we're gonna do. Barbell squat, 4 by 10, 30-second rest. Into Romanian deadlift, 4 by 10, 30-second rest. 30 seconds of rest is insane. It's not optimal for hypertrophy. Check out Dr. Brad Schoenfeld. His nickname is Dr. Hypertrophy. Dr. Hypertrophy. And they have you do 2 to 3 minutes rest. It's been shown scientifically that's optimal. Make sure Jane Doe does her calf raises, because I'm sure she showed up for that. Blows my mind. Here we go. Last one. Guy wants to get jacked. Hey, John, how's it going? You're a little overweight. Don't say that, asshole. But we're going to take you through a great workout. We're going to start out a ball squat, curl the press, 2 by 15. Single leg chest press, 2 by 15. Standing lat pull down, 2 by 15. Single leg scaption, 2 by 15. Vertical, so you're just gonna do a big ass circuit and then you rest at the end. Ooh, hold on, we're not done yet. Supine ball dumbbell tricep extension. Make sure to get on the tricep on the stability ball. Multiplanar step up to balance. Nope, I'm not. This is fucking terrible. If you do this on a client, you're gonna lose the client and you're gonna get insecure and you're gonna be, what am I doing wrong? I should get another cert. No, read the book. This is 15 years of experience. I'm not laying out in front of a Lamborghini like all these jackasses are doing. We have 3 gyms. We're online, we're in person. Check out one of our seminars. In one class, you will learn more than this entire fucking textbook. If you want to become a great trainer, it's not through that. It's by getting hands-on experience. If you need that piece, get out there. If you need that piece of paper to get into a gym, 30 days max. Pass it and then get on to becoming a great trainer, because that's not going to make you a great trainer. All you are is being a sheep following everyone else. Certifications, certifications, certifications. The top trainers in the world who I've interviewed in my book, internships, more internships. Learn from therapists, learn from people that are doing it, learn how to do it right. Sorry guys, it's your favorite trainer with the belt buckle. Checking out. Have a great day. Check us out on Instagram, YouTube, Show Up Fitness Internship. And remember, if someone's giving you advice, make sure they're fucking jacked. Have a great day. Make sure to like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. We got Show Up Fitness Internship. If you want to become a great trainer, showupfitness.com. And most importantly, your favorite trainer with a belt buckle, check out my book, How to Become a Successful Personal Trainer. We will help you no matter where you are. All you got to do is show up. Woo!